Acelera el pulso. Oh yeah, ya me está gustando más de lo normal.
The American dream is a goal that many people have. It could be from an immigrant's point of view of wanting to make a better life for themselves, a life where they can come from absolutely nothing and make something good out of themselves in order to become a better person, and not only offer themselves something, but their families a better life as well. The American dream can also be related to people born in the United States, where people might have all the odds stacked against them, but with hard work and determination, anything is possible. We have learned of so many testimonies of people who come from absolutely nothing, such as foster kids and people who live in extreme poverty, to becoming someone well-known and successful. I believe that this all has to do with people sharing in what they believe is their own version of the American dream.
Kaviko's idea on immigration started from his European past, where he was in poverty and had aristocrats and kings. He was infatuated by the American dream that has no sort of kings or courts or whatever the Europeans have. When he came to America, he found that so many poor men could have their own farm and not work as an employer. It's different when you're working on your own time rather than someone else's, because when you're working on someone else's, you have to do everything by the book, and that's your only source of money coming in. When the land is yours, you become a real U.S. citizen. As immigrants start learning the lay of the land, they became more creative by keeping the fruit of their labor. Clavicour said, "It is here, then, the ideal may be employed, the useless may be useful, and the poor become rich." The America is a society where anything is possible, that if you want it bad enough, you have to work hard because nothing gets handed to you.
Hitchens' idea was to say that America has lost its innocence. In a way, Americans were blinded by alcoholism, mental illnesses, and selfishness. This idea contradicts the American dream by darkening American visions, and people are willing to do whatever it takes to be wealthy and prosperous. Like in The Great Gatsby, Daisy married Tom more for reputation than love. Also in the beginning, Gatsby didn't come back for Daisy because without wealth and power, their love wouldn't exist. Hitchens' idea also started the beginning of class systems, and there was a big gap between the rich and the poor. Stereotypes became social norms in everyday life. This all ended the old America, starting a new, selfish, greedy, and self-seeking America.
I think that the American dream still exists today, but I feel like people in our generation don't have the same look on it as Clavicour did or Hitch. I think that the majority of people in our generation believe that the American dream is being rich or having money and money to give your future kids or your grandkids. I think we forget that no one starts off rich. They have to work for it, and it's not sucking up to whoever's in charge or just inheriting some money from your parents, your grandparents, and so on. I don't agree that that's the way you make it to the top. But some people really don't know what hard work is because it's always just like served to them on a silver platter. One of the people we interviewed came from Mexico and had nothing, and now he owns multiple marketing companies. So if you really want something, you're going to need to actually sit down and take the time to achieve it.
I personally believe that the American dream still exists today. I know people may say that it is corrupted with wealthy and greedy people, but if you put your mind to something that you believe in, you can achieve your goal. I think you have a stable job that supports your family and you love your loved ones. You have everything you need. In the end, it's about your life and how you want your American dream to be like.
I personally believe that the American dream is still alive today. As first generation in the United States, I can confidently say that my parents are a living testimony of the American dream. Coming from countries that are extremely underdeveloped and being able to have a car and a home and live a comfortable life where they don't have to worry is something that is so humbling to them. I will forever be grateful to America as the country that has raised me and gave my parents the opportunity to seek a better life where anything is possible. And I only hope that everyone in the United States, no matter if immigrants or U.S. born, can take advantage of their own opportunities and create their own version of the American dream.
Exists today? I think it's a lot different than what you'd say like the typical American dream was. My grandparents came here from Italy and like worked in factories and on a steel mill their whole lives, and like they made it today. Like their family's here and we're all like comfortable, so I think to them like that was the American dream. and I just don't know if it's like comparable to what it is today, because so many of those jobs that like were available aren't so much anymore.
Right.
Or our current administration doesn't really support immigration in the way that I believe it should be supported. So I think that like has a huge impact on the kind of dreamers that should be able to come here but really can't.
Yeah. Do you believe that the American dream still exists today?
What is the American dream?
I do, yes.
Dream still exists today. Elaborate.
I think it does exist to a point, but depending on what you're, if you were born here, if you were raised here, or if you are immigrant, it differs.
What was your American dream?
My American dream? I'm living it. Maybe to be self-employed, have my own company, build several companies, create what you want, do what you want to do, but you never make it alone. Surround yourself with people that are better than you, so they can take you to the next level, and share everything. And that's how you make it.
Question. Do you believe that your effort to come to the United States has paid off?
Absolutely. This is the greatest country in the world. Despite the politics, everything is great here. Anything, everything is at your disposal. If you want to make it happen, it can be. Apply yourself. You can go to school, or learn a trade, or learn in the streets, whatever you need to learn. But apply yourself, you can make it.
Thank you.
The American dream is different for each person, or it's usually the same thing, such as like wealth and like prosperity.
The dream, I guess it just varies between people and, what they come to America for. But overall, I think that's what everybody seeks, prosperity, to prosper in life.
So do you believe that the American dream is different for each person, or is usually the same thing, such as wealth and prosperity?
Yeah, I think wealth and prosperity is generally what it is, but I think like to different levels. Like I think if there's a lot of people that the American dream for them would be like to come here to raise a family safely, to like be comfortable, and then for other people I think like they do see the American dream as like making a ton of money, like, and they equate like wealth with being happy. So I think it just it's a scale, but it's like probably the same for everyone.
Okay.
I think that the American dream is more of a fantasy than actual reality.
It's reality. Like it's work. That's what it is, work. That's all it is.
It's more of a fantasy than an actual reality.
No, it's only it all matters in your mind. If you truly believe that you can do something, nothing can stop you. Even though there's a lot of roadblocks in life, I think that you can definitely get it done if you choose to do it.
I think that the American dream is more of a fantasy than a reality.
Like I said, it's a reality for whoever is able to reach goals. Like if you either have, and I'm talking about having a good salary and education, right? If your family pushes you to do better, to go to school and get a degree, right? You will be able to achieve it if you get the funds, either your family or any other type of agency, like, I don't know, financial aid, FERPA, anybody that can give you the tools will help you get the dream. But like I said, if they don't teach you at home, if you don't have guidance to reach those goals, then you can't. So basically, I guess I'm saying to Israel, if they teach you the value of work, and they encourage you at home or with a mentor to go to school, and they teach you good study habits, you can make it. But nobody is born knowing. There has to be somebody teaching them.
What do you want in the future for the U.S.?
Like, probably just like to get control of like guns and everything. Like lately, what's been happening.
Last question. What do you want in the future for the United States?
I would be called a socialist for what I want in the future, but I want, like, I'd love to see like universal health care and smarter immigration policies. I'd love to see less economic inequality, less corporate greed, I'd like to see like retraining of the workforce so that even if people don't see like college or grad school in their future, they have the right resources to go to like vocational school or something like that. And I'd like to see like some things change with our democracy, the electoral college, stuff like that. So a lot. But
yeah.
In the future for the U.S.
Well, I feel like, I want, just more togetherness. I think it's been a lot of segregation and just, the way.
Equality, there we go.
Yeah, equality, but not really though. I just think like I think we're all equal, we know that, but I think we need to come together as those equal individuals and then really focus on the same goal or whatever, for the country, because we all have different agendas and it kind of messes with stuff. So.
Yeah.
What do you want in the future for the U.S.?
I want it to be more accepting and just to stop judging and trying to control everything to a certain point. There are certain things that I don't think our government should control, and just be more accepting of everyone.
United States.
To make America great again, honestly, but not like to include everyone, not just certain people and certain rights, just basically for everyone to be prosperous.
Yeah.
Despacito, quiero desnudarte a besos despacito. Firmo en las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito.